Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's me, Irvin, with another first impression videos from Funimation. Welcome once again. This is going to be on one that I think aired yesterday, I believe. Could have been today. It's called Wondering Which, The Journey of Elaina. It's actually one that I knew a little bit about just because I was interested in buying the light novel. I ended up not buying it, but I read enough to kind of understand what the story was about. So, before I continue, though, a few things. If you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. There will be another giveaway for those who are wondering until October 15th, so you guys will have to wait a few more days. Guys, if you want to further support my channel, then go watch my other first impression videos. I have quite a bit of them already out. You can follow me on TikTok or on Twitter. Either way, you guys will get more anime and manga info through any of those means. Okay, Wondering Which, you can find it on Funimation. Right now, it's only subbed. I wouldn't be surprised if they dubbed this one. This is type of anime that sometimes Funimation likes to dub, so I wouldn't be surprised. Now, don't take my word for it. I don't know if it is or not, but it might. This again is Wondering Which, The Journey of Elaina, and again, this is one that I was planning to buy, but it was very much a slice of life that I didn't really want to collect it and read through it, so I decided not to buy it for now. Depending how the anime goes, I might end up buying it just to have it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The anime itself follows this girl Elaina, who, from a very young age, she wants to be a witch. She reads this book about a guy and his multiple journeys, and he wants to be just like him. So her mom encouraged her to be a witch, but she needs to train and she needs to be serious and dedicated about it. So she does that. She dedicates herself to train and become a witch so much that she becomes an apprentice at a young age, the youngest age that anyone in her village has become. Because of this, she grows a reputation, and it can go for good or for bad. And for her, it was really for bad. A lot of the witches that were witches already in the village didn't want to take her in because of how well known her name was and how respected she was, I guess, by people. They didn't want to mess it up, so they just didn't take her in. So she's given up. She's given up on basically being a witch almost, because you have to train under someone to become the witch. It's very much like anything back then, 100 years ago. If you want to be a cobbler, you have to train under a cobbler, or a baker under a baker, whatever. It's very similar to what's going on here. She finds this witch in a random spot, and this witch, in her mind, Elaine says, "I'm not going to tell her who I am," kind of trick her into accepting me as an apprentice. But the witch knows who she is. She calls her by name, Elaine, and she's like, "Oh, you probably don't want me then." And she's like, "Yeah, I want you to be my apprentice." So she takes her in. Throughout the entire month, Elaina becomes basically a servant. She cooks. She helps her do basically everything, clean the house, and do potions. And well, not really do potions, but do multiple stuff around the house that is basically a servant's job. And she gets so frustrated about it. And one day, the witch, the Stardust Witch, which is the witch that took her in, tells her, "Okay, tomorrow we're gonna have a test." And then the day comes, and Elaina and the Stardust Witch basically battle it out. They have a huge battle where the Stardust Witch, it almost seems like she's mocking Elaina. She's beating her down because she's strong. She's a strong witch. I mean, she's not a witch for no reason. So Elaina, obviously being still an apprentice, it gets knocked down, and at one point she starts crying. She kind of breaks out to her like, "You're just making fun of me. Like, you don't want to train me. You took me in to treat me like a servant and then beat me down this way to make fun of me, right? I don't need this." And the Stardust Witch finally tells her that she's trying to teach her about setbacks and failure, and knowing that there's going to be someone stronger than her doesn't matter where she is. You know, you're not always the best, you're not always the strongest. You have to be precautious. You can't think so highly of yourself. And all this comes because her parents paid the witch to actually teach her this lesson. And they really bond in that moment. And from then on, the Stardust Witch puts all her effort in training Elaina. And the summer is over, and the Stardust Witch loses to Elaina in a battle, and she finally says, I've taught you everything that I know. You're good to go now. You have become a witch. So Elaina becomes a witch. The Stardust Witch leaves. She ends up being a traveling witch, so she leaves. And Elaina says goodbye to her parents, and essentially the episode closes that way. Elaina going into this journey for 3 years of this traveling, um, and going into adventures. So again, the light novel was basically that. That's basically what I knew of it, was that it was going to be about this witch who wants to travel, who wants to just learn about life. A very much slice of life with a little bit of drama included, but very much slice of life, kind of a good feeling series. And that's in a nutshell what it is. If you've watched the first episode, that's the feeling you get. And I'm going to assume that's the feeling you're going to get the entire series. It is very beautiful when it comes to the backgrounds and just what they do in some of the sceneries of the story. And if you're into that, that's going to be your anime. If you're into like great animation, into great, you know, drawings and backgrounds, that's going to be your anime. This one, it is kind of a moe in some sense, and she's drawn in a cute way, but it's not really a moe anime. I would say, if anything, slice of life with a hint of drama, and yeah. We'll see what it takes on from here. From now, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. I think it serves its purpose and it's doing a good job for it. So I'm not going to lower it just because it's not as action based as I wanted it to be. I mean, there's a little bit of action for sure, but it wasn't obviously a shonen. So, and that's not what it is. That's not what it's made for. It's made for a slice of life, and for what it was made for, it's doing a great job. So, I think it's going to be a cute one. A lot of people will talk about it, I would say, for the animation itself. So, go check it out. Again, it's on Funimation. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Go make sure and check out my other first impression videos. I might have another one today. I'm not sure if I will. I know I will have a manga chapter review for you guys tonight, but I'm not sure if I'll have another anime first impression video. Hopefully, but we'll see. Thank you guys for your love and support again, and guys, like always, don't be strangers. See you guys in the next video.